Hey everybody, Michael Fleischner here with the Freelancer Profit System. And today I want to talk to you about the power of networking for freelancers. Now, there are a couple of benefits when it comes to networking, but I want to dispel a couple of myths right out of the gate when it comes to networking. A lot of people think, well, you have to show up at an event not knowing anyone and somehow put yourself out there and start introducing yourself and telling people about yourself. And networking doesn't really work that way, at least effective networking. So you can take a deep breath. You don't have to sell. You don't have to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And networking at the same time can be really powerful if you do it correctly. And when I say do it correctly, I mean, yes, you are going to want to challenge yourself and stretch yourself to meet new people. But at the same time, it's not an all or nothing. So we want to get rid of kind of this, extreme thinking when it comes to the concept of networking. So let's start with a couple of the benefits. When you network, you tell people about not only who you are as a person, but you position yourself to help them or to help others. And that's an aspect of networking a lot of people don't focus on. And I'll talk about that in a moment. And then the other benefit of networking is that it has a long-term impact on your freelance business. So growing your freelance business isn't just about closing deals today. It's about building long-term relationships that will feed you deals and feed you business for years to come. So you want to think about this idea of networking as more of a marathon and not a sprint. All right, so how do you do that? And what are some of the myths? Well, the first myth is just, you got to put yourself out there and it's really uncomfortable and it's just a miserable situation. The reality is networking can be a lot of fun if you do it the correct way. The second myth is really, if you think about it, a lot of people look at networking as a sales type transaction, and it really isn't. To me, it's more of a service transaction. And here's what I mean. When you're in a networking situation, you should be spending 80 or 90% of your time listening to and questioning those people you're interacting with. So if you're doing 90% of the talking, you're doing it all wrong. And you want to do that because you want to take a service approach. Ask yourself, how can I be of service to all the people in this room, in this setting? And by doing that, you're going to find that number one, you're going to stand out as someone who's different. And secondly, people are going to gravitate towards you because you're someone who's supportive, who's listening to them. People love to hear themselves talk, as we all do. And ultimately, you can help solve their problems. So what I want you to do instead of just trying to jump into a networking situation is really think about the types of events where your prospects are, the type of events where other freelancers are, and bring a buddy. Bring someone else who's interested, bring someone who can be your wing man or wing woman, so that you're not standing alone in the middle of a room and forced to interact with people. Now, I've had many occasions with networking where I've only gone by myself and I just, am content being by myself and I look for other people who are by themselves and I'll introduce myself or I'll ask them where they're from or, make some small talk. And for me, that was definitely a growth opportunity because there's something I wasn't really comfortable with. So again, you don't have to necessarily do that. My recommendation is to bring someone along so you're not alone and you always have someone to talk to, but don't let that prevent you from interacting with other people and engaging other people and asking how you can be of service to them. And again, you don't have to do that directly, but certainly listen to them, understand what they do, how they do it, what their challenges are, what keeps them up at night, and think about those types of positioning statements when you go into a networking situation. I actually just had dinner with a great friend, a great networker, and he goes to conferences all the time by himself. And, that is a strategy that he really uses, which is he's there to serve and he's there to listen and learn. And he just closed a six-figure deal based on someone he met at a conference kind of taking on that orientation. So again, a lot of things to think about, but networking can be a real positive for your freelance business. So definitely give it a try. All right, everybody, I'm Michael Fleischner. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and definitely comment below. I want to hear from you, and I'll see you next time on the Freelancer Profit System.